Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and we're going to talk a little bit about price in this video. There's an analyst from Cointelegraph that thinks that XRP very well in the very short term will very likely target 25 cents. Which doesn't sound like a lot necessarily, but I'll tell you what, given that within the last few months XRP got down to like 11 cents, I'll take it. Plus, really, the altcoin market in general has been rallying as of late, so I'll be sharing that with you. I've also got this story from Cointelegraph titled, Bitcoin Rally in Danger? Wall Street Veterans Warn of Nasdaq Bubble. But before we go any further, if you would please delicately tap that like button, I would certainly appreciate the support. And also go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel to join the echo chamber. Alright, so let's hop in now. We've got XRP today at 20.4 cents. And Bitcoin's at $9,548 with the crypto asset class. It's got a market cap now of $284 billion. Now, you guys are familiar with the term do your own research, right? DYOR. Well, if you're not driving, I encourage you to take a look at the screen. And by the way, shout out to Salvo Leon. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right. I'm doing my best here. Salvo Leon, who tagged me in this, along with some others. In the XRP community. And this cracked me up. I shared this earlier. Sorry, I'm laughing. I know I need to describe this. So there's a picture of Ripple CTO David Schwartz. He's co-creator of the XRP ledger. And then we've got this clone on the screen right next to him. And it's DYOR. D-Y-O-R. I hope it's not just me that thinks this is funny. I think this is hysterical. DYOR. Oh, yes. It's very sophisticated. You've got David Schwartz looking all fancy, and it's got the XRP logo right now where I'm circling the mouse. So always be sure to DYOR. DYOR research. I might make that the thumbnail of this video. I very well may do that. Here's a tweet from my fellow XRP YouTuber Kevin Cage, since we're talking a little bit about price here, and he wrote the following. If XRP is not at 25 to 28 cents within 2 weeks, it just goes to show how suppressed this asset truly is compared to others. We'll check back in on August 7th. And it will be interesting to see, and I'm not getting depressed over this, like, other than the nonsense that happened with Tether overtaking XRP in terms of market cap, which, by the way, purely because Tether printed more Tether. They went from, what was the market cap? Because, mind you, Tether's always worth $1, so is that a market cap of like $4 billion? And what's it at now? $10 billion? So there you go. They printed over $6 billion Tether, and there you go. And then it took over XRP, so it doesn't actually mean anything here, but keep in mind, other than that happening, XRP has maintained its spot in terms of market cap. So, it's people like to rag on XRP if they're Bitcoin maxi trolls and the type, but the truth of the matter is that the entire asset class is down relative to the highs in late 2017 and early 2018. And if it were the case that XRP were doing particularly worse than these other cryptocurrencies, there's no way in hell that XRP would be number 4 in market cap today. I'm sorry, it just would not happen. So now, let's jump into this piece written by chart analyst Rakesh Upadhyay with Cointelegraph. And I just want to cover, actually I want to cover the top two. Bitcoin has covered a considerable amount of ground over the past few years. Initially considered an asset mostly used for unlawful activities, it has finally received the approval of the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. This means banks in the U.S. will now be able to provide crypto custody services to their clients. And I made a whole video about that the other day. It's gigantic freaking news. Very excited about it. But this move could further encourage institutional investors to enter the crypto space because they are likely to trust their banks more than the other custody services on offer. However, funds are unlikely to start flowing immediately as institutions are known to tread cautiously. It is, look, I don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but it is just a matter of time. There will be some banks that jump on board for it first, and then eventually I will not be surprised if you see all sorts of banks that are household names the world over custodying cryptocurrency for their customers. I fully anticipate that to happen. I just don't know exactly what the timeline is going to look like. I mean, I guess I could speculate for fun, and I just say in the short term, I don't think you're going to see a bunch of it. You'll probably see some banks, maybe this calendar year even, that would start doing this. But I don't know how long it takes to set that type of infrastructure up. Hopefully it's not that big a deal, but you could see some of that type of adoption this year. I don't know. I tend to think, my gut's telling me for some reason, maybe I'm wrong, but I just have this feeling that the biggest banks out there are not going to be jumping on board, in terms of crypto custody in 2020. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But in the short term, investor sentiment is likely to be swayed by the performance of gold and the U.S. equity markets. As gold is backed by momentum, the institutional investors are likely to remain invested in it. At the same time, if the U.S. equity markets enter a correction as anticipated by a few stock market veterans, then the top-ranked asset on CoinMarketCap might show weakness due to its strong correlation with the S&P 500. So let's go ahead and jump down to XRP. So what did Rakesh Upadhyay have to say about XRP/USD? XRP broke above the downtrend line and quickly rallied to the neckline of the inverse head and shoulders pattern. However, the bulls could not push the price above this level, which suggests that the bears are aggressively defending the resistance. If the fourth-ranked cryptocurrency on CoinMarketCap does not give up much ground, the bulls will again attempt to propel the price above the neckline. And the rising 20-day exponential moving average, 19.7 cents, and the relative strength index in the positive territory suggest that the path of least resistance is to the upside. A breakout and close above the neckline will complete the bullish setup that has a target objective of 25 cents. There is a minor resistance at 23.5 cents, but it is likely to be crossed. I don't hate that. This bullish view will be negated if the bears sink the XRP/USD pair below 18.8 cents. So that would be positive, heading in the right direction here. But I still say this too, and I'm obviously not a financial advisor. I am not offering any financial advice here whatsoever, just your everyday Joe Schmo here. Not going to pretend to be somebody I'm not. And I still fully anticipate that, buying XRP, at this point, at any price it's been over the last year and a half, 2 years, whatever, it's going to seem like a drop in the bucket. It's going to seem like nothing once this all takes off here, because I have all the confidence in the world, given that utility actually does matter and the world's going to figure it out. I believe that XRP will be worth substantially more in the future than it is today. And I don't believe for a second that all-time high of just shy of $4 will forever be the all-time high. There's no freaking way in my mind, as long as real-world adoption continues. And this next piece now from Cointelegraph: Bitcoin rally in danger? ? Wall Street veterans warn of Nasdaq bubble. The price of Bitcoin faces a near-term pullback as Wall Street veterans warn of a Nasdaq bubble forming. Ned Davis, who has operated his namesake Wall Street research firm since 1980, believes a Nasdaq bubble is forming. Based on the rough correlation between Bitcoin and stocks in recent months, it could negatively affect the crypto market. Since March 2020, Bitcoin and the S&P 500 saw an uncanny correlation. There were some periods where Bitcoin was stagnant during a stock market rally, especially from May to June. But for the most part, the correlation has remained high. On July 9th, the correlation between Bitcoin and the S&P 500 reached an all-time high at 0.38. And this matters for us as XRP holders too, because XRP, just like every other coin, is following ultimately the price action of Bitcoin. I don't think it'll stay like that, but in 2020, that is the sad reality that we're in. Top analysts expressed concerns about the overvaluation of tech stocks since early July. If the tech-heavy Nasdaq begins to fade it could cause a larger stock market downtrend. Lisa Abramowicz, something like that. It's something like that. A business reporter at Bloomberg wrote, quote, tech valuations are the most extreme they've been since the 2000 tech bubble, based on the ratio of Nasdaq to small cap stocks. And data shows that tech stocks account for nearly 50% of the Nasdaq Composite Index. Hence, when tech stocks decline, the Nasdaq Composite Index drops especially hard. And so Davis described the current situation of the Nasdaq 100 as bubbly, drawing concerns about the performance of FANG and tech stocks. He noted that stocks like Microsoft dropped sharply after earnings as internet and software companies are still reeling from the impact of the coronavirus lockdowns by governments across the globe. And so here's the quote. "The Nasdaq 100 looks bubbly to me. If this isn't a sign of climbing up a high diving board for speculation, I don't know what is." And we'll have to see, because in March, obviously, March 12th, which I believe was Thursday, right? It was a bloody day in terms of price action for the stock market and crypto asset class. And it did follow. It's absolutely the case that the crypto asset class followed what was happening in the stock market. Will it again? There's reason to be alarmed. But even so, even if that's the case, it still doesn't mean that the prices would stay low forever, because there's always going to be people that see it as a buying opportunity, and markets are markets. They're going to adjust. Supply and demand will always do its thing. And so over time, it would come back up. But in the short term, yeah, I will not be surprised at all if the crypto asset class follows negative price action of the stock market. So we'll just see. But again, all I can say is DYOR. Do your own research. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to make that the thumbnail. That's good. Well done, Salvo Leon. Thank you for tagging me in that again. That's it for this video, though. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!